Hey guys, welcome back to the Run It Back podcast. I am your host, as always. Alongside with me is Wes. How's your weekend, Wes?
Hi, Joy. Hi, Running Back Nation. Everything's good. It's spring cleaning time. And as a matter of fact, if you're business minded, it's almost end of the first quarter. So, hey, we're getting through the year pretty quickly. But hey, things are improving. Let's take it one day at a time. But for now, let's go talk about some cars and whatever other surprises you have to bring in today's episode, Joy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know where you guys are from. You could comment down below, but we're from Chicago. It's about to hit 60s, so I'm getting really excited. I just brought my bike out this week, so yeah, biking to the lake almost every other day now, just to stay fit, get back into that shape. But yeah, we have a short episode for you guys today. Not a lot happened in Formula One, just a lot of car launches. So let's get to it. Into the hot laps. So we're gonna pick our top two car launches for the week. If you follow our social media, there are some cars that I don't necessarily like, but there are some that I absolutely fell in love with. Same for Wes. He's also shared his thoughts on the car launches. But yeah, Wes. Let me share my top two cars for this week. Of course, next week we only have one car launch that's going on. It's going to be Ferrari. Rumor has it it's going to be red. Um, but yeah, I mean we'll have to wait and see, right? But yeah, so my top two for this week is Alpine and Williams. I feel like the Alpine is such a clean livery. I love what they did. I love the new blue that they did. It's sad to see the yellow of the Renault because the point in that Renault was it looked different in all angles of the car. So if you looked at it from a side view, it's more black than it was yellow. But if you looked at it from the front, it looked more yellow than it was black. So I love that extreme dynamic that the Renault team had. But I do like this new car that they have. There's a lot of French flag implementations throughout. But yeah, what are your thoughts, Wes, on Alpine?
Alpine looks good.
Yeah,
I don't really care what Formula One internet has to say about the Pepsi can.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't really care. Red, white, and blue is always a good combination, no matter what.
Absolutely.
And of course, everyone knows Alpine is blue as well.
Right.
Let's not forget the obvious. But hey, it's a really good design. So it's a very good first step for those livery designers over in the French outfit.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. And what I loved about this is that like it seems as though they actually trusted a livery designer or a graphic designer to design my top two picks, Alpine and Williams. But very so often or little often do actual teams listen or actually hire a graphic designer. It seems as though a lot of teams are very corporate with their decisions to keep liveries to either not to make too much implementations. But I say that because the Williams livery is so unique. It literally looks like a graphic designer was hired to pretty much create something that was out of left field, right? And like that's what I loved, right? I will say it's not my favorite livery, but I think it's so unique that it's so fresh. It's so fresh to see. But yeah, I like your quote, Wes. It's a clean livery, but let's get the results.
Absolutely. I think this is one of those things, right? That is telling us that hey, the tides are changing over at Williams.
Mm,
And I believe their inspiration behind this livery is that it's to culminate their 40 years of existence,
right,
right?
right.
So you see a little bit of blue, a little bit of white, a little bit of yellowish, orange,
Mm,
whatever that Pantone is. And what they're trying to tell us is that look, we're this is no accident. The investments, the drivers that we have, the structure that we're looking to have moving forward. No, they really are invested in trying to succeed, get back up there, and like yeah, like I said earlier in the week, now it's really time to actually do it. And it looks like they have a lineup that's capable of helping them compete.
right.
winning is not part of the conversation right now, but competing is.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, you pretty much hit it right on the head, Wes. It does look like it's like almost kind of a throwback, but kind of also a new design. But yeah, like I like it. It's something new. It's something fresh. It's something out of the box that I've seen in liveries in Formula One, and that's why I like it so much. But yeah, what are your picks, Wes?
Well, I'm not going to talk about Williams too much because well, that was one of my picks anyway.
Oh,
We
okay,
kind of covered it already.
decent.
But of course, the green team, Aston
Ooh,
Martin.
mm.
No way in hell that they weren't going to be green.
Yeah, no way, no way.
Now it's cool to see BWT back there and not having any shade of pink interfere
Mm.
with the British Racing Green. But hey, you know when you see British Racing Green, that means this team plans to be good or is already good. And
Yeah,
guess what? This team happens to fit that bill. And I'm excited to see it go around. Now, I'm not going to lie, that hood and that nose looks a little like something we've seen before.
right.
But then again, it's not a surprise from that outfit over at Silverstone.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think one of the most interesting talking points about the Aston Martin is that pink color, right? Word on the street is that that was actually a last minute decision. That it was supposed to be this neon green, which is uniform to the Aston Martins in the GTE Pro and the GTE, like pretty much the GT3's racing series. But last minute they decided to kind of give BWT kind of like that pink swoosh on the side, and yeah, I wanted to know what you thought about that.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? If there's no BWT, there's no pink on the car
Right.
because that is the company color. But for him to reach a little bit of a compromise and it doesn't like I said, it doesn't really interfere with the car.
Mm.
I think it's like a darker shade of pink, no, almost red.
Yeah, it's almost red. Yes.
So that's where it doesn't interfere with the car. Now, if it was like a real, like a hot pink or
Yeah.
like whatever, then it might have been a problem. But
Yeah. Yeah.
hey, it's fine. It's fine. Everybody wins out.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I actually thought that it would be instead of like a pink, I thought it would be like a white because of Cognizant. That's their colors. It seems as though. Um, and I thought because Cognizant is kind of the new title sponsor of Aston Martin, I thought that they would kind of choose them over the BWT. But I think they're just kind of giving this homage to the BWT sponsorship. So I actually
BWT.
yeah BWT. But like I don't know like I thought there was gonna be like a massive logo of BWT, but they actually kept it minimal.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, or like you said, rather, Cognizant. This is Cognizant's title, right?
Mm,
So of course, there's going to be more Cognizant than BWT, but of course, in a way, somehow Aston Martin, Racing Point, Team Silverstone, whatever you want to call it, kept that relationship, and of course, it's only right that they put it somewhere on the car.
right. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's yeah. I mean, that's pretty much our favorite car launches or car liveries for the week. Let us know in the comments which one's your favorite. You could rank them pretty much from this week and last week. I mean, I think we also know. I mean, until it's gonna be a surprise, but that there's rumors that the Ferrari's gonna be red. So you guys, you guys rank your favorite liveries so far for this year on the comments below. That'll help us a lot. And yeah, so let's move on to Porsche. Wes, we spoke about Porsche a couple episodes ago about picking our favorite manufacturer that we want to see join Formula One. And just this week, ESPN brought this piece on Porsche and VW considering entering Formula One in 2025. Does this surprise you?
Red Bull, pay attention,
Hmm.
but or really anybody else, but minus the custom manufacturer teams, customer teams.
Right.
Customer teams pay attention. Manufacturer teams don't. but I like it. I'm into it. I mean, Porsche. I believe at Formula One is the one area where Porsche hasn't really done anything great. No.
Yeah. Yeah, they haven't really. I mean, they were in the McLarens, but their engines were unreliable.
Well, exactly.
Right.
So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, we should see more engines, and Stefano Domenicali has that intention of trying to make the field more diverse, right? Rather than a three-engine competition. So, of course, with Porsche considering it and Volkswagen, why not? As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, if depending on how certain economic tides turn over the next few years, I wouldn't be so surprised if other brands join them too. But for the sake of Porsche, I like it. I like the fact that they're considering returning to or entering Formula One rather.
Yeah. Absolutely. And of course, like what you're probably asking a lot of our listeners are probably asking why is Porsche considering a return to Formula One or just being just joining Formula One. Well, that's because right there's going to be this new engine regulation, and that's what Porsche is actually waiting for. They're waiting for the new regulations, the new engine regulations, to be, you know, exactly what F1 promised. They want pretty much sustainable fuels, biofuels, right? And funny thing is, Formula One or the FIA actually sent out their first barrels of biofuels that Formula One teams are to test, which is interesting, right? Because now like VW is kind of recovering from this scandal, right? Where they were caught kind of, cheating the emissions tests. And so now they're trying to recover that. And I like that they see Formula One as this platform that they could achieve or they could kind of redeem themselves. But yeah, like I think this is much more good for F1, right? With Porsche and VW because VW's I think is the biggest car manufacturer in the world right now. They just kind of overtook Toyota I think a couple years ago. But yeah, like this is so interesting. This is like I if they do join, I hope that it will be a works team and not more of a engine manufacturer.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they're too big of a those two are too big of a name to not
Right.
be just to not be a works team, right?
Right.
I mean, in a way, you could say that that case could have been said about Mercedes in the 2010s, right? It's like they're supplying these engines, but why aren't they a team themselves? And then here we are, and then of course,
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
Possible
so
foreshadowing.
oh, don't put that on me. Don't put that on me. I
No.
mean, granted, I won't be mad because Porsche is nice. Porsche is nice. Porsche.
Absolutely.
That's how you apparently that's how you pronounce it. Porsche.
Porsche for the Germans. But yeah, it's
But yeah.
also interesting that you pointed out that Stefano Domenicali, who is now the CEO of Formula One, Stefano Domenicali used to be the president of Lamborghini, who, as you guys might not know, but Lamborghini is owned by VW. So there are a lot of people just saying that because he has connections with VW, he might make it a little bit easier for VW to enter Formula One because he knows VW is so big and powerful that it might just be more of a smooth transition to Formula One for VW.
Well, that's I think a different conversation for another day
Right.
because that's a political
Hmm.
thing, and just for the sake of the segment, right,
Right.
where we're talking about Porsche and VW just considering entering,
Right.
and right now it's that sounds like good news.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so yeah, that's pretty much the show that we have for today. Let us know what you guys think. Should VW or slash Porsche enter Formula One by 2025 if Formula One does kind of present this new sustainable energy or sustainable fuels for the future. They plan to be carbon neutral by 2030. I think they can achieve it. We will see. It seems as though it's more of a possibility every single day that passes. So yeah, that's pretty much it for what we have for the Run It Back podcast tonight. We're probably gonna be slam packed because the season's about to start. Um, Drive to Survive is about to start, so we're literally just 1 week away from preseason testing. And so, yeah, you guys make sure you guys tune in for the No Decision podcast. We're pretty much going to cover the landscape of boxing. There's a huge event that happened that it doesn't seem to have the recognition because it was held on Friday. So stay tuned for that, for the event. But yeah, if you love to watch or if you are interested in boxing, go ahead and listen to our podcast in the No Decision. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you guys next week.
Keep it on track.